What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some boxing news. Now, I did a video on Nonito and Guillermo Rigondeaux, the fight um, being potentially made and held up, and what was the cause. And some of you guys are hilarious because you're saying little things. Um, like again, this was the reason I did the video was because I was hearing stuff like Nonito's ducking, and I made a simple point in the video is how is he ducking if Rigondeaux is not signing the contract per whatever his reason is, and he's all obviously being offered a large sum of money that he's never received ever before. Just for those of you who don't know, when he fought Roberto Marroquin, he was initially supposed to get $100,000, and I believe they renegotiated or something, and he got $150,000. But the contract that's being presented to him currently, he was being offered $750,000 to fight Nonito Donaire, which is, I mean, that's a considerable amount, 600K more. You know what I mean? That's a considerable amount. Obviously, the biggest payday of his career. And my point is simple. Guillermo Rigondeaux, although he's a great fighter and he's a gold medalist, he's still trying to establish himself as a brand in the United States of America. And I don't think anyone can really dispute that. As far as a professional, he has a ton of amateur fights, but as far as a professional, he's 11 fights deep into his career. And I mean, none of them have been huge names that he's beat. He hasn't beat like Abner Mars professionally, or Moreno, or just anyone that has a huge name at the time. So my point is, he's not really in a position to play hardball with a company like Top Rank and with someone who's in control of the money like a Bob Arum. Now, I'm not saying he should get fucked over, but at the same time, you have to know when you have leverage and when you got to fold. And my point is, I really feel like you have a pending lawsuit which was what was holding up this fight, and you trying to force it down their throats to resolve the lawsuit instead of letting that take whatever natural course that it's going to take, is not necessarily the best solution. However, it appears, and remember where you heard it first, it appears that the fight reportedly has already been made, signed, sealed, and delivered. Guillermo Rigondeaux has come to his senses and decided that, hey, I'll worry about the lawsuit later, which was what I was telling him he should do, just because he's been calling for this fight. Nonito, a lot of people were saying Nonito was ducking, and we know Guillermo Rigondeaux definitely wanted the fight, so make the fight happen. The ball's in your court. You're going to get paid the most money of your career, and really worry about everything later. So supposedly, as of right now, according to the sources that I've heard, it's supposed to take place April 13th on HBO from New York, the Radio City Music Hall, and we will finally get to see Nonito Donaire versus Guillermo Rigondeaux. And I'm still waiting to hear some more like official from Top Rank or Nonito or Bob Arum or somebody, but it looks like it's a done deal from the early sources that I've heard, and I just can't wait. It looks like Vada would be doing the drug testing for both fighters. Donaire's he stepped up to the plate with after a lot of people got busted, and he started doing 24-hour, 24/7 testing, which is a good look for him. So I don't think we have to worry about anything like postponing the fight or holding up the fight in terms of either fighter not being clean. I think they're both clean. And I'm really looking forward to it. I really want to see it. I think I said this in the previous video that Guillermo Rigondeaux would be a tougher test for Nonito than Abner Mars would be, and that's mostly because of his amateur background and his level of defense. Guillermo Rigondeaux is a highly defensive fighter. He fights with the just a really technical Cuban style, like a lot of the Cuban boxers, and I'm ready. I want to see it. And we all know he has knockout power. Both fighters have knockout power, so I'm anxious to see what will happen. I definitely think Nonito wins this fight. I think he can actually knock out Guillermo Rigondeaux as well, if not win via unanimous decision. But it's not going to be a walk in the park for either fighter. I think it's going to be a great fight, possibly a fight of the year candidate. It's something that's been built up for quite some time. Kind of like a Mayweather Pacquiao, just on a smaller scale, because that would have been pay-per-view, and this is something we get to see on HBO. So I'm really looking forward to it. And again, if Nonito beats Guillermo Rigondeaux, he's pretty much, in my eyes, cleaned up the division, because I don't know if a lot of you guys know this, but Guillermo Rigondeaux fought Abner Mares as an amateur in 2003, I believe it was, and he beat Abner Mares. So that's kind of like killing two birds with one stone. I know that amateurs, I always say this, what happens in the amateurs is not necessarily indicative of what would happen in the professionals or the pros, but we don't know if that fight will ever be made. Nonito versus Abner Mares, based on the promotional companies Top Rank and Golden Boy, Richard Schaefer, Oscar De La Hoya, Bob Arum, never could see eye to eye. They can't give us certain fights like Mayweather, Pacquiao, etc. So I think Guillermo Rigondeaux Nonito is a tougher fight for both fighters, and I think it's a fight that should be made. It should have been made a while ago, but I'm just happy to hear that it's scheduled for this April. So no more Vic Darchinyan. It looks like Guillermo Rigondeaux has agreed, has signed, and we will wait. I'll give you guys more up-to-the-minute information as it comes available to me. And that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. Guillermo Rigondeaux versus Nonito, April 13th from New York. Who do you think will win? Why? And leave a comment. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Until next video, it's Ego signing off.